Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Fox Sports Net presents Florida Marlins Baseball. Tonight, the Marlins wrap up their three-game series with the Montreal Expos. And we greet you again from north of the border, along with Tommy Hutton. I'm Len Casper. It has been a wild start to this 2002 season. The Marlins could not hang on to a 6-1 lead, losing 7-6 in the opener Tuesday night. They did hang on. They were up 6-1 and won last night 6-5 to get the win. The starting pitching's been very good. And how about that offense, Tommy? Derek Lee, the first baseman, with 2 home runs already this season.
You know, one thing too, Len, the offense hasn't taken a long time to get it going either. Derek Lee, with 49 home runs over the last 2 years, already has 2, and each of his home runs this year have come his first time up. So look out tonight when he steps to the plate, his first time up. The thing that I've liked about Derek Lee this year, he's been attacking fastballs. Off Tony Armas Jr., he took a fastball that was inside and took it deep. And the thing that he appreciated the most about that is the fact that it came with 2 out. Anytime you get that 2-out base hit, it's outstanding. But a 2-out grand slam is even more outstanding.
Well, the Expos have been the comeback kids the last 2 nights, and I think the key guy has been their catcher, Michael Barrett. 2 home runs, a solo shot in each game, down 6-1, kind of gave him a bit of a spark, didn't he?
You know, he's kind of a project of their hitting instructor, longtime baseball man Tommy McGraw, and he said he's really working with Michael Barrett to try to concentrate on using the entire field. That you could pick up a lot of RBIs the other way. Well, he's gotten himself a couple of home runs. He's just 25 years old. Remember, he originally was a third baseman. They kind of bounced him back and forth between third and catching. Now he's settled in behind the plate as their catcher.
Well, the bullpen has to be a lot better. In their first 2 2/3 innings pitched this year, they've given up a total of 8 earned runs. They'll have to be a lot better tonight. Well, let's take a look at the Toyota pitching matchup. Tonight, Brad Penny tries to match the performances of Ryan Dempster and A.J. Burnett and keep his perfect record versus the Expos intact. And for Montreal tonight, Carl Pavano makes his 2002 debut. He only made 8 starts late last year after elbow surgery in 2000. A battle of a couple of young right-handers tonight in Montreal. We'll have the lineups and the first pitch in a moment. And Florida Marlins Baseball on Fox Sports Net is being brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. Get the feeling, Toyota. By Pennzoil, we're driving protection. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you?
Velocity, set, location, direct TV. All systems are go. Affirmative. The rocket is ready. Roger. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have a strikeout. 12 minutes past the hour. Outstanding. Hang another K.
He's a first-time coach.
Them bum guys are coached.
They're the last-place team. But together, they're champions.
Oh my God, he caught it.
Keanu Reeves.
One of the most important things in life is showing up. I'm blown away by your ability to show up.
Hardball.
Playing this month on pay-per-view. Tune to the 100s and order with your remote.
Parc Olympique in Montreal. It will be an intimate evening of baseball here tonight between the Marlins and Expos. Rubber game, both teams at 1-1. And let's take a look at it. Marlins starting lineup for manager Jeff Torborg. It looks the same as it did opening night. Luis Castillo will lead it off. Preston Wilson is in center. Cliff Floyd will be in left. He had a big 2-run homer in the ninth. A little more insurance, and that helped give the Marlins the win. Kevin Millar's in right. Mike Lowell is at third base. Derek Lee again with the big grand slam in the first inning. Alex Gonzalez has had good success against the Montreal Expos in his career. Mike Redmond is behind the plate, and Brad Penny is on the mound. And he'll face Carl Pavano, coming off elbow surgery a couple of years ago. He made just 8 starts last year late, and they're looking for a lot more from him here in 2002.
Well, they just hope Carl Pavano can stay healthy. With that elbow surgery in 2000, he's really been back and forth as far as pitching in the major leagues and then pitching in rehab assignments in the minor leagues. You can tell by his record last year, just 42 2/3 innings. At this level, he did pitch some games in the minor leagues. Good live fastball. He has a quality arm. and he's always had that little burden on his shoulder of being the guy that was traded for Pedro Martinez. Originally, he was a 13-round draft pick of the Boston Red Sox. That was the organization that Carl Pavano came up in, and back in 1997 with the Red Sox in the minor leagues, he was the International League #1 prospect. So this guy does have a tremendous upside. He just needs to stay healthy. We'll take a look at the defense behind Carl Pavano. Start over at first base with the big guy, Lee Stevens, only man who's hit a home run off Brad Penny. There's Jose Vidro, sure-handed up the middle with Vidro at second base. Over at third base is Chris Truby. He came over in a trade during spring training for Jeff Blum. The shortstop is last year's Gold Glove winner Orlando Cabrera. In the outfield, Brad Wilkerson will play left. He's played there all 3 games in this series, as has Peter Bergeron in center field, and he's had quite an offensive series. He's made some quality plays in center field. Vladimir Guerrero, you know what he's going to give you. He already has 5 RBIs, hit a big home run for the Expos last night. And another guy who's tremendously hot, Michael Barrett, behind the plate. He'll call the pitches for Carl Pavano.
And we're just about ready to get this one underway tonight. They had 34,351 for the opener and 4,779 last night. And the crowd tonight looks like it might be even smaller than that. And Castillo takes one outside, and we're underway. Luis has hit in each of the first 2 games. 1 for 4 last night. Easy play for Cabrera in the dirt, scooped by Lee Stevens for the out. A rare bad throw from the Gold Glove shortstop.
Sometimes that routine play causes an infielder to make that bad throw. Cabrera playing shallow, playing over in the hole, positioned himself perfectly, and then threw a sinker and got a big help from Lee Stevens. Sometimes you just ease up because it's such an easy play and you don't follow with your throw.
Wilson 2 for 5 last night. Hit the big grand slam in the 7th inning Tuesday. And he made the catch for the final out last night. So he's been in the middle of a lot. Made a great catch Tuesday as well. High fly ball right field. Drifting toward the foul pole is Guerrero, and in foul ground, and he's got it.
Not only did Guerrero drift into foul territory, he drifted out of sight from just about everybody. But I kept my eye on the first base umpire, Mike DiMuro, and saw him make the call. And there's an angle that we see Vladimir, and he's happy he got there.
2 up, 2 down for Cliff Floyd. Fouled back this way. Boy, it was good to see Cliff hit that home run last night off Graham Lloyd. It had been a tough month of March for Cliff, and that turned into 2 huge runs.
Yeah, it's one of those home runs that pretty soon everybody will forget that he didn't hit a home run in March in spring training.
Absolutely. Ripped down the line, just foul.
In some brief plate appearances against Pavano, and most of the hitters have not seen Pavano a whole lot because of his injuries, but Cliff is 4 for 6 with a couple of doubles, so he's picked him up quite nicely.
And the 1-2 pitch from Pavano got him swinging, and the Marlins go down quietly in the top of the first.
At Toyota, not all SUVs are built the same. They each happen to be quite amazing in their own way. There's the adventurous 4Runner, Highlander, the SUV with a car-like ride, the RAV4, stylish and fun, and Sequoia, the V8 that seats 8. You're going to find the SUV you're looking for, even if you're not sure which one that is. Now choose $1,250 cash back or 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on every new 4Runner. That's right, $1,250 cash back or 1.9% APR on 4Runner.
Tina?
Hi, you must be Todd.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle reduces oil consumption and restores the performance of older engines.
It happens in the blink of an eye. That defining moment in every game. When that moment comes, will you have ice in your veins?
It's here, it's clear. New Gatorade Ice.
Well, this lineup for the Montreal Expos looks pretty familiar as well. Peter Bergeron leads it off in center. Jose Vidros at second. Vladimir Guerrero in right. Big 3-run homer to bring him back to 6-5 in the ninth. Cabrera will be at short. Stevens at first. Chris Truby at third. Brad Wilkerson in left. Michael Barrett behind the plate. And Carl Pavano on the hill. And there's Brad Penny. He won his last start last year against these Expos. And this has been a team that he has been all over in his career. And the first pitch to Bergeron is a ball.
Yeah, we talked about some of the tremendous numbers that Brad Penny posted against the Expos last year. One of those, a complete game 4-hit shutout. Good fastball. We know that. He'll mix in the changeup. And he has excellent control. There you go. Last year, talking about the control, just 54 walks in 205 innings. And a very deceptive 10-10 record.
Up the middle, that is a base hit. Bergeron's on. 5 hits now in this series for Bergeron.
Well, let's hop around the infield and check out the defense for the Marlins tonight. Not only has Derek Lee hit, he has been tremendous at first base. Luis Castillo, the second baseman. Alex Gonzalez is short. Mike Lowell's over at third. There's Alex. In left field is Cliff Floyd. Center fielder Preston Wilson. Kevin Millar once again gets the start in right field. And behind the plate, Mike Redmond tonight.
Jose Vidros swings, and it's a long fly ball to left, but it'll be caught out there by Floyd on the warning track. Vidro gave it a ride, but that's the first out.
You know, seeing Bergeron get that base hit up the middle and talking with Tommy McGraw, the hitting instructor for Frank Robinson, he had 3 projects in the spring. One of them got traded, Jeff Blum, but the other 2, Barrett and Bergeron, he's really worked with. And the key for Bergeron doing just what he did, hit that ball hard on the ground. Try to keep from hitting fly balls.
Vladimir Guerrero had quite a night last night. He did not look good at all against A.J. Burnett. Whipped 3 times, grounded into a double play, and then against Kevin Olson hit a big 3-run homer that's still traveling in the province of Quebec. I mean, I was talking to some of the Marlins guys, and they were amazed at how bad he looked in the first 4 at-bats and how great he looked in that final at-bat. He can do that to you.
Yeah, he's one of those hitters that can do that. He can look horrible, but then he can also hit a great pitch. You can make a good pitch on him, and he can hit it out of the yard.
To second, Castillo to short, and to Lee, and the out. So Louie and Alex turn the double play after 1, no score.
Announcing free long distance and free roaming.
A couple of steps forward.
All you have to do is be on our network, or it becomes somewhat less than free.
Little to the right.
How big is our network?
Not that far.
It's nationwide.
1 step back, please.
How wide is nationwide? Well, it depends on where you are in the nation. Some nations are smaller than others.
A little to the left.
And that's true anywhere in America.
Perfect.
Heard enough? Get Singular Nation. Never pay long distance, never pay roaming. It's that simple.
Where's anywhere?
Self-expression is simple with Singular Nation.
It's time to play.
I need you to help me.
You want what they want, don't you?
She has a secret, a 6-digit number in her head. They have his daughter.
Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
I need that number. You need your daughter back.
Is it a telephone number?
No.
An address?
No.
It's a bank account?
No.
Is it a code?
No.
Is it a place?
No.
What is it?
I'll never tell.
Michael Douglas.
Can't just flick a switch in the girl's head.
The answer's right in front of you.
Daddy.
No! Don't say a word.
Now playing on pay-per-view.
Velocity set. Location direct TV. All systems are go. Affirmative. The rocket is ready. Roger. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have a strikeout. We have a strikeout. 12 minutes past the hour. Outstanding. Hang another K.
And we move to inning number 2 here in Montreal. No score. Marlins and Expos. And Kevin Millar swings at the first one from Pavano and bounces it into the Marlins dugout. Kevin 0 for 3 in each of the first 2 games. So he's still looking for his first hit. And it's quickly 0-2. We told you about the Doe Estros that he sprinkled on his bat before Tuesday's game, and obviously it didn't turn into any hits. Apparently he put too much on the bat, got soaked into his batting gloves, and said there was a foul odor pretty much all night. So either he washed those gloves, which is not easy to do, or he got a new pair. And he also says he will try it again for the home opener Monday night. Let's hope he's more efficient Monday.
Well, like I always say, better to sprinkle that Doe Estros on your bat than on your omelet.
Yes.
Right about now, Kevin will try anything, get his first hit this year.
Oh, yeah.
Remember last year, Kevin Millar had just 24 at-bats in the month of April because he really didn't settle into being an everyday right fielder until a little later on.
Back goes Stevens and Vidro, and Stevens will make the catch down in the bullpen area. Well, let's send it downstairs to Craig Minervini. Hi, Craig.
Hey guys, how you doing? You know, there's a new rule in baseball that was enforced last year, but they're going to enforce it more this year. It has to do with the body armor, elbow pads like Kevin Millar wears. It no longer can be longer than 10 inches unless you have a doctor's note, believe it or not. Guys like Barry Bonds, Mo Vaughn wear the longer one that's hard plastic. This one now has to be covered with nylon, but you do need a doctor's note, guys, if you want one a little longer than that. Back to you.
Man, you thought when you finished elementary school you didn't need a doctor's note anymore.
All right. Was it Epstein from Welcome Back, Cotter? Mr. Cotter, I got a note. Mr. Seelig, I got a note.
Now, there was a time last year Mike Lowell had to wear one of those because he was hit in that area a couple of times severely.
Mike with a hit last night. Drove in a run Tuesday night. And here's the 3-0 from Pavano. There's a strike. Tony Armas walked 4 guys last night. Marlins walking 3 times Tuesday. And Bill Robinson's been quite pleased with the offensive output. 12 runs in 2 games. 11 of those runs coming as the result of a home run. And Lowell walks here with 1 out. Well, the Marlins make their way to Philadelphia to take on Bobby Abreu and the Phillies Sunday afternoon. Catch Marlins on Deck at 1 to get the latest news and team updates, immediately followed by the main event, the Marlins and Phils. Sunday at 1:30, right here on Fox Sports Net.
Well, what a solid player Bobby Abreu is. He can beat you all kinds of ways.
Derek Lee, right center, it'll drop in there. And he has his first hit that's not a home run, and it's going to be a close play. He's in there. Hustle double for Derek Lee.
There's a perfect example of AstroTurf and how Bergeron had to play this ball. Derek hits it a little bit off the end of the bat. Bergeron has to hold up, and then it skips high in the air. Once it bounced high in the air, that's when Derek Lee put it in gear and decided to go to second base. And it also allowed Mike Lowell, who has below average speed, to go from first to third. So you think a little differently on AstroTurf.
So a home run in each of the first two games, and now a double here tonight.
And the home runs came in his first at bat. So his first at bat tonight, only a double.
Berg is slugging down a little bit, right? So Gonzalez was second and third and one out. And we should note, after the Marlins scored 4 runs in the first inning, and that grand slam came with 2 outs, in inning number 2, they had runners at second and third with nobody out and failed to score. So while Bill Robinson and Jeff Torborg were pleased with the 6 runs, there was some situations where they felt they should have gotten more against Tony Armas.
Yeah, and then they didn't score again until that 2-run homer by Cliff Floyd in the 9th inning.
And the 2-strike offering got it. Well, Alex went fishing there on the 0-2.
Well, you can see what pitchers do to Alex Gonzalez. Number one, if they get ahead, then they just expand that strike zone. There's no way that Pavano was going to throw a pitch in the strike zone. He went with a slider, a good slider, about 6 inches off the plate, and got Alex to chase it.
So the number 8 hitter comes up with a base open, and they'll take their chances against Brad Penny, and the bases loaded.
You know, Brad with an opportunity to help himself. We talked about his deceptive 10-10 record last year. He had the 2nd lowest run support of any pitcher in the National League. Only Glendon Rush got fewer runs per start than Brad Penny.
And there's ball 4 to Mike Redmond. And to go along with those 10 wins and 10 losses last year, Brad Penny with 10 hits. So I guess 10 was his number. He was 5 for 45 in 2000 and then 10 for 62 last year, so he improved.
You make that improvement, you start to see more breaking balls.
Pavano stays from the stretch with the bases loaded. And there's strike 2. Mike Lowell at third. Derek Lee's at second. And Mike Redmond at first. Atmosphere a little different tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little slower pace, a little quieter.
My place was rocking Tuesday night. Brad Penny strikes out on 3 straight. They load him up but fail to score.
In recent crash tests by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety,
doesn't look that bad.
The rugged Toyota Tundra with I-Force V8 got the best rating of any full-size pickup tested.
Probably buff that out. I just feel bad for the guy that hit you. I'm good! I'm good!
There's nothing tougher than safety. Now get $1,000 cash back for 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on the 2002 Tundra.
The fridge is broken.
Refrigerators, washers, and dryers on sale. Get 0% financing plus free delivery and a price match guarantee on the top 6 brands. Only at Sears. Where else?
At Rent-A-Center, it's easy to get the stuff you want because everybody's pre-approved. TVs, appliances, furniture, computers. You can get it today. Boom! Just like that.
No credit? Boom! No problem. No credit? Boom! You're in. No credit? Boom! You got it.
Hey, you guys can't say boom. Get your own word.
And now, everything in the store is free till payday. Up to 7 days free. Call 1-800-205-2005 for the nearest Rent-A-Center.
How? Nope, keep thinking.
Monday, April 8th at 7:05 p.m. is Bank of America opening night. The Marlins take the field against the Montreal Expos to start season number 10. Get your tickets at the Pro Player Stadium box office or visit FloridaMarlins.com today. Marlins, it's time to play.
Good job by Carl Pavano to work out of a jam. He got in a jam, got ahead to Alex Gonzalez, slider away, got him to chase it, and then after the intentional walk, got ahead 0-2 to Brad Penny, slider away, got him to chase it. So good job by the Expos right-hander.
And Orlando Cabrera takes ball 1. 1 for 4, drove in a run last night. Got the game-winning hit in the 9th Tuesday. It's 2-1. It's interesting because Perry Hill and Ozzie Guillen, who Jeff Torborg, he gives both of those guys a lot of the credit for the development of Orlando Cabrera. They're sitting in the opposing dugout and will be for many games here in 2002. Perry Hill, who coaches first base and the infield for the Marlins, and he's very proud of his pupils. And Orlando Cabrera is one of the best. Castillo makes the catch. 1 away here in the Montreal second.
Well, and he hopes he can be just as proud of his newest pupils, Luis Castillo and Alex Gonzalez, this year.
So Lee Stevens now, he's walked 4 times in this series and lined out to center to end the game last night. And he swings and misses. Michael Tejera came on, Tommy, and threw 1 pitch to pick up his first save, and of course he kept the game ball after that one last night. He was pretty thrilled.
Only his 4th appearance as a major league pitcher, and he got this guy, Lee Stevens, for the final out. Lee Stevens is the guy that broke up that consecutive scoreless streak that Brad Penny had against the Expos. 28 straight innings without a run. And Lee Stevens, who's 1 for 10 off Brad Penny, but that one, a home run that broke up that streak.
Outside, 1-2. And you go back to the bullpen from last night, and we mentioned that Kevin Olson gave up that 3-run homer. If you see the stat hold, it's an H in the box scores. There's a swing and a miss. He got him. 2 outs here in the second. A hold means the reliever comes into the game with a lead and leaves with the lead. Well, Vic Darrensburg walked the only batter he faced. Braden Looper walked the only batter he faced. And Kevin Olson gave up 4 earned runs. They were all credited with a hold.
Yeah, I think you should have to record an out to get a hold. That's just my opinion.
So Chris Truby now with 2 outs, nobody on.
It's been that kind of a series for the Marlins bullpen. 11 of the 12 runs that the Expos have scored the previous 2 games have come in the 8th and 9th inning.
Yeah, it has been a remarkable series in that manner. Marlins have done well early offensively, and then the Expos late have done a lot of their damage. And Frank Robinson's team will be reckoned with for sure this year. Not saying they're going to finish 500, but they're a pesky bunch. In the hole, and Alex can't quite catch up to it. That's an AstroTurf single for Chris Truby. Two hits now for the Expos, singles in each of the first 2 innings. That's why offensive players like to play on this AstroTurf every once in a while. If you hit it hard in the hole, you're probably going to get it through there.
Yeah, if you have speed, it certainly helps too playing on AstroTurf. Interesting, former Marlins assistant trainer Kevin Rand now with the Expos, and kind of an interesting game tonight because Kevin Rand and Mike Wallace, who's the equipment man with the Expos now, who was with the Marlins, they've seen every game since 1993, every game that the Marlins have played. 1,394. So tonight will end that streak. Of course, they'll see him again in South Florida, but their streak will end tonight. So we wish Kevin Rand, of course, his family, and Wally all the best.
Absolutely. And they'll be off to Cincinnati after tonight to start a weekend series with the Reds, and the Marlins will be in Philadelphia for the Phillies home opener tomorrow. There goes Truby. Here's the throw down to second, and they got him. Well, what a throw by Mike Redmond. The end of 2, no score.
At Toyota, not all SUVs are built the same. They each happen to be quite amazing in their own way. There's the adventurous 4Runner, Highlander, the SUV with a car-like ride, the RAV4, stylish and fun, and Sequoia, the V8 that seats 8. You're going to find the SUV you're looking for, even if you're not sure which one that is. Now choose $1,250 cash back or 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on every new 4Runner. That's right, $1,250 cash back or 1.9% APR on 4Runner.
No brotherly love in this matchup. Lee and the Marlins. Roland and the Phillies. Marlins Phillies. Sunday at 1:30 on Fox Sports Net.
We're talking about $2 million.
Go!
For these 6 teams, the biggest challenge won't be winning the money.
You're fine!
It'll be surviving the race. Rat Race.
Now playing on Blockbuster Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Yeah, I have some good news.
The underground comic book Ghost World finally comes to life on pay-per-view.
Great.
And if you order it right now, you'll get to enjoy some deleted scenes.
What are you talking about?
You know, scenes that didn't make the final cut.
Ooh! You think that's funny?
Yeah, as well as other extra features.
Well, why do I care about that? It's my shtick.
Accentuate the negative.
Sounds good.
And use your remote to order Ghost World with extra features. Now playing on pay-per-view.
This could be a really great thing for you.
Florida Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Net is being brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. Get the feeling, Toyota. Here's Mike Redmond ending the 2nd inning.
Strong throw by Mike Redmond. It appeared that Truby might have gotten his foot on the bag before the tag was applied. But a good quick tag by Alex Gonzalez, and second base umpire Ed Montague, he saw it as an out.
So back to the top of the order here in the third, Castillo. And it's 1-0. Grounded out to short to lead off this game. Well, the Mets lost earlier this afternoon to the Pirates at Shea, 3-2. Every National League East team, and that's down the line, left field, and it's caught. Good running catch by Brad Wilkerson.
Yeah, it was interesting looking at the newspaper today. Coming into play today, before the Mets lost that afternoon game, coming into play, every National League team in the Eastern Division had a 1-1 record.
And the Marlins went into today's action in first place, first time since April 20th, 2000, when they were 10-7. I guess it's never too early to talk about positioning. It is pretty early, though. And the first 19 will be within the division.
Well, I think we've talked a lot about it and the importance of the Marlins getting off to a good start, without question. Jeff Torborg knows that. His staff knows that, and the players know that.
A ball and 2 strikes now to Wilson.
And what makes that even tougher is the fact that the first 6 games of the year are on the road. Albeit after that, except for a 4-game stretch in Atlanta, of course then we're taking on the Braves, there will be a number of home games.
Now the Marlins will certainly get comfortable at Pro Players Stadium. Carl Pavano strikes out Wilson. Boy, he's been throwing that slider with 2 strikes, and it's been working every time.
Well, and the whole key, and this is something I talked to Ryan Dempster about in spring training, the whole key to that slider is where you get yourself in the count. That's a lot better slider when you have 2 strikes on the hitter. If the hitter's ahead in the count 2-0, he's much more likely to stay away from that pitch, because that's not what he's looking for.
Floyd drills it into center. This one's going to get all the way to the barrier, and it'll be at least 2 bases. Cliff Floyd with a 2-out double. Well, he's coming around.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. Cliff, of course, we've talked about it many times, a former Expos player, a tremendous prospect coming up in their organization. Last night was only the 2nd home run he'd ever hit against his former team. And it took him a while to get number 1. He hit that last year. So it's good to see him swing the bat against Montreal.
Millar now with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Kevin has started each of the first 2 games, but has not finished either one.
It'd be good, too, to see this guy get on track. 85 RBIs last year. Talked about it. He didn't play early. May 12th is when he really settled in and started playing almost every day in right field.
Right field. Back goes Guerrero, and he'll catch up to it for the out. Kevin hit that one on the screws, but he was unsuccessful.
In recent crash tests by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety,
Doesn't look that bad.
the rugged Toyota Tundra with I-Force V8 got the best rating of any full-size pickup tested.
Probably buff that out. I just feel bad for the guy that hit you.
I'm good. I'm good.
There's nothing tougher than safety. Now get $1,000 cash back for 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on the 2002 Tundra.
It happens in the blink of an eye. That defining moment in every game. When that moment comes, will you have ice in your veins
It's here. It's clear. New Gatorade Ice.
Tina?
Hi, you must be Todd.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle reduces oil consumption and restores the performance of older engines.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah, and I bet they didn't have that insurance back then.
What?
Flat. It gives your mommy money if she's sick and can't work.
What does?
Flat. Pay attention.
To what?
Flat.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Bottom of the third here in Montreal. Brad Wilkerson flies out to left field on the first pitch to start this inning.
Well, things getting underway in a hurry, and why not? It's getaway night here in Montreal. The team will head out to the airport north of the city, Mirabel. Fly into Philadelphia, arrive sometime early this morning for a 3 o'clock home opener for Philadelphia tomorrow afternoon.
And while technically it has been colder here in Montreal than it will be in Philadelphia, it'll be colder for us in Philadelphia. This dome here in Montreal is very nice in April. But I guess when we come back in the middle part of the summer, when everyone's outside, and this is a great city in the summer, we probably won't want to be cooped up inside the dome.
You don't see many of the sidewalk cafes with their tables and chairs set up just now. But you will see that when we come back.
Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And one of the good things about being here in Montreal with a quiet night like this is you can get a good listen in on the umpires' balls and strikes calls. Center field, back goes Preston. And he makes the catch. Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Florida Marlins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Florida Marlins.
See those ski caps, those toques, as they call them here in Montreal? You and I could have used those this morning after leaving breakfast and walking back to the hotel. A little snow flurry we walked through.
It was snowing horizontally. Wind was really howling today in Montreal. The ball and a strike. This is one of the rare places that we don't get a good radar gun readout. Colin McRae, who usually does that, has a bunch of other video duties tonight. And Craig Minervini and I were sitting down behind home plate last night in that little club area. And that's a neat view down there.
Yeah, it's kind of nice with the radar gun for us. But I know Jeff Torborg is even thinking about it. He doesn't know if he's going to do it for sure. Thinking about not having the radar readings show at Pro Player Stadium. Because he thinks it has an effect on the pitchers.
Hot shot. Derek Lee will take it unassisted, and Brad Penny through 3 has faced the minimum.
Hey, free long distance? No roaming. Nationwide. Lots of minutes. Yeah. Of course you have to be on our network, not their network. Ours can be some places.
Don't get trapped. Get Singular Nation. Never pay long distance, never pay roaming. It's that simple.
By free, we don't mean without charges. There will be charges when the...
Self-expression is simple with Singular Nation.
At Rent-A-Center, it's easy to get the stuff you want because everybody's pre-approved. TVs, appliances, furniture, computers. You can get it today. Boom! Just like that.
No credit? Boom! No problem.
No credit?
boom, you're in. No credit, boom, you got it.
Hey, you guys can't say boom. Get your own word.
And now everything in the store's free till payday, up to 7 days free. Call 1-800-205-2005 for the nearest Rent-A-Center.
How?
Nope, keep thinking.
Wherever your decorating ideas come from, this is the place to bring them. Sherwin-Williams. The store that makes it easy for you to get your project going. From the latest techniques, to the right paint, to the design ideas you're looking for. Stop in today for our color and style sale and save $9 a gallon on stain-resistant Everclean interior paint. Ask how, ask now.
Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Live from Texas, it's NASCAR qualifying. Winston Cup leader Sterling Marlin is on a roll as NASCAR's big guns tackle one of the toughest tracks. Bud Bowl qualifying Friday on Fox Sports Net. Every move, every story, every weeknight.
This is Totally NASCAR.
This is Fox Sports Net. Totally NASCAR, weeknights at 6.
Well, let's check out the Aflac trivia question for tonight. What is the Major League record for consecutive games with a grand slam? The Marlins have hit grand slams in the first 2 games. Second time in club history they've done that, but that is not a Major League record. Lowell, Lee, and Gonzalez against Pavano here in the 4th.
Yeah, back in 1995, Kurt Abbott, Greg Colbert hit grand slams in consecutive games.
Three times in baseball history have teams hit grand slams in the first 2 games of their season. The Brewers back in 1978. Sixto Lescano, remember him, and Gorman Thomas. And then the Brewers did it again in 1980. Lescano in game 1 and Cecil Cooper and Don Money in game 2. Mike Lowell did not have a very fun at bat.
This time Pavano comes at Mike Lowell with a fastball. It looked like a pretty good pitch. I think Mike's just mad at himself. I think I remember too in 1997, the Marlins championship year, Sheffield and Lou hitting grand slams in the same game.
And probably the most memorable grand slam story came a few years ago when Fernando Tatis, who's now with the Expos, but he is currently injured, hit 2 grand slams in the same inning. How about that? 8 RBIs in 1 inning, 2 grannies.
I mean, the odds of coming up with bases loaded twice in an inning.
Derek Lee sends one high and deep, right center, gone, a home run. He's got 3 of them now.
Well, we were joking around at the beginning of the game saying, well, Derek Lee's on pace to hit 162, but he'll still fall short of Barry Bonds. He's had two home run games already, but Derek Lee has homered in every game so far. His 3rd home run of the year. This time he takes a slider, but look at the difference in this slider. Remember the ones that Pavano picked up the strikeouts on? They were a little sharper, had a little more bite to them, and they were off the plate. That one kind of hung over the middle of the plate.
So Derek Lee off to a red-hot start. 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. Bill Robinson joked before the game. He said, I wouldn't mind a couple of duck snorts tonight. He said, I love Derek hitting the home runs, but, you know, occasional bleeder is okay. A double and a home run. He'll take it.
Well, you know, when you're playing all the time, you do have those periods where you go through a downtime. You have that slump. So you hope to get those little flares and just make up for that time that you don't get the base hits. That's probably the biggest thing about hitting at this level. Bill Robinson certainly knows he was a quality hitter, outfielder. Came up with the Yankees, had some tremendous years with Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. But you know you're going to have those hot times, you're going to have those down times. And it's making the adjustment that's the key to success.
And if you go back to 2001, Derek hit in 7 of the final 9 games last year. And you go back to that situation, and that'll be caught out there by Jose Vidro for out number 2. He is 15 for his last 38, so he ended 2001 strongly and has started 2002 in the same fashion.
Get in one of those zones you don't even want to think about what you're doing. You know, the whole key, one of the things that Bill Robinson does pound into the hitters is have a game plan when you go up to the plate. Don't just go up there and look for pitches, try to hit the ball here. Have a game plan. Have an idea of what he might throw, that pitcher, when he might throw it. So yes, it is a thinking man's game.
Ball and a strike now to Redmond, who was intentionally walked in the second. Derek Lee hit that home run with a new bat. Broke the other one last night. So the new one has worked just fine. Marlins take the lead. It's 1-0.
Hey, if we get hurt. Whoa, good thing we got that insurance.
What's that?
What?
What'd you say?
What? Pays you cash if you can't work.
Before that.
I said I'm glad we got that insurance.
Not that. That.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Tina?
Hi, you must be Todd.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle reduces oil consumption and restores the performance of older engines.
It happens in the blink of an eye. That defining moment in every game. When that moment comes, will you have ice in your veins?
It's here. It's clear. New Gatorade Ice.
Get a behind-the-scenes look with Sterling Marlin and see what it's like to be the Winston Cup points leader. NASCAR Victory Lane, Sunday on Fox Sports Net.
Florida Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Net is being brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work. Well, the Marlins have been very good at taking early leads in this series. They led 6-1 Tuesday night. Led 6-1 last night, and they have an early 1-0 lead after Derek Lee's 3rd home run of the early season.
Well, D. Lee has always hit for power, especially on the road. We were just looking up in between innings. 54 of his home runs, career home runs on the road, 21 at home. And guess what? We're going to the state of Pennsylvania. Last time I checked, Philadelphia is still in Pennsylvania.
Indeed.
And Derek, of those home runs, has hit 14 home runs in Pennsylvania, 8 at the Vet, 6 at Three Rivers, which is no longer there. He hasn't touched up PNC yet.
Brad Penny gave up 2 hits in the first 3 innings, but faced just 9 hitters total. Got a double play ball to end the first, and Mike Redmond caught Chris Truby trying to steal in the second. Fisted, and it's caught by Gonzalez. He had a play like that last night, kind of misjudged it coming off the bat, but he makes the catch tonight.
Tell you, just in these 3 games, Peter Bergeron looks like a completely different hitter. He's made some tremendous improvements. And I know the Expos, I'm sure Frank Robinson is happy to see that from his leadoff man, who needs to improve that on-base percentage.
The thing with the Expos that I've noticed is with Bergeron hitting, the first 4 guys, and you could probably throw Lee Stevens in there, that's a pretty good start to their lineup.
Yeah, and when he gets on base, it gives them a whole different look too.
I know the Expos want to get Fernando Tatis back into the lineup, and then you have Wilkerson, Michael Barrett with a couple of home runs in the 8th spot. But a lot of their problems in spring training came offensively. And a chance for Alex. And let's find out the answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question. It's the Major League record for consecutive games with a grand slam.
Let's just say if the Marlins hit one tonight, they'll have a chance to tie it.
Yeah, the Brewers and the Tigers with grand slams in their first 3 games. Should find out the wins and losses in those 3. I would think if you hit a grand slam, you have a pretty good chance to win.
Yeah, we thought that opening night.
Two balls, no strikes. Got to be careful here to Vladimir Guerrero. Even with nobody on. And he nearly came out of his shoes on that swing.
Which he does often. I'm sure guys told Brad Penny after the home run by Derek Lee, here's that good fastball to Guerrero. And the way Penny's pitched against Montreal, I'm sure guys were kidding him and said, all right, Brad, there's your 1 run. Go get him.
Well, that is the mentality of some of these guys, you know. Hey, I'll keep them at 0. Guys, just get me 1. Count is full now at 3-2 to Guerrero.
Well, Brad Penny got off to a good start last year. His first 16 starts, Brad was 7-1, had a nice 3.41 ERA. Then he ran into a little bit of a wall, some of that due to lack of run support.
And Vladimir Guerrero takes a rare walk with 2 outs.
And Brad Penny issues a rare bases on balls. A couple guys, both Brad and Ryan Dempster, in the spring, very stingy in the walks. Of course, we mentioned Brad with 54 walks last year and over 200 innings.
So Cabrera now with 2 outs, runner at first. And there goes Guerrero on the first pitch. Here's the throw. And they got him. Late call, but they got him.
It's time to play.
Announcing free long distance and free roaming.
A couple of steps forward.
All you have to do is be on our network, or it becomes somewhat less than free.
Little to the right.
How big is our network?
Not that far.
It's nationwide.
One step back, please.
How wide is nationwide? Well, it depends on where you are in the nation. Some nations are smaller than others.
A little to the left.
And that's true anywhere in America.
Perfect.
Heard enough? Get Singular Nation. Never pay long distance, never pay roaming. It's that simple.
Where's anywhere?
Self-expression is simple with Singular Nation.
Velocity set. Location direct TV. All systems are go. Affirmative. The rocket is ready. Roger. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have a strikeout. 12 minutes past the hour. Outstanding. Hang another K.
There's nothing but a dark world of pain locked in that building.
There is a world just beyond the one you know.
This is the city of the dead.
And a cold-blooded tale of revenge.
4 can keep a secret if 3 are dead.
Behind the legend of Jimmy Bones. Snoop Dogg.
Doggy dog, buddy.
Bones.
Now playing on pay-per-view. Tune to the 100s and order with your remote.
Well, Luis Castillo took a little bit of Vladimir Guerrero's spike as he came in hard trying to steal a base last inning. And another strong throw from Mike Redmond and almost a broken ankle from Guerrero. He came up with that spike hitting the dirt. And Luis Castillo stayed right there, but then he got stepped on. So a good play and a couple of nice throws by Red.
And Brad Penny swings. Back a second, and it'll get in there. Orlando Cabrera with a long run, but he was unable to catch up with it. So Brad helping his own cause tonight.
I always wondered where the Bermuda Triangle was. It's right here at Olympic Stadium in shallow left center. You couldn't stand at home plate and throw one out there in a more perfect spot, just out of the reach of Cabrera. Bergeron couldn't get it. Wilkerson couldn't get there.
So the corner men will play in. Not bunting. Strike one.
That's a first base hit off Pavano that hasn't been for extra bases. He'd given up a couple of doubles and the home run.
So it's now 1-1. All right, what's that? You got it figured out? You couldn't tell us if you knew, right?
No, they haven't given me the indicator. So I won't be able to figure them out until I get the indicator, which everything after that is the sign.
Right.
Ozzy's being very tight-lipped about that indicator. He has to check into the dugout.
That is a rare on-camera moment where Ozzie Guillen isn't speaking to someone. Whether it's the third baseman, the guys in the dugout, the umpire. Up the middle, and it's through. Jose Vidro thought he should have had it. The Marlins have something brewing here in the fifth.
Well, again, the benefits of AstroTurf. The middle infielders cheating a little bit, pinching up toward the middle. But Louis hits this ball hard on the ground, and Vidro can't get there. He was hoping just to knock it down because he knew if he did, he might have time to get Penny going into second.
So they're back on the infield. They'd love to turn two here. And that one's pulled way foul.
Now here's a situation where if you had a normal number 2 hitter up there, you'd probably have the bunt on. But we've talked about how Jeff Torborg plans to use Preston Wilson that number 2 spot. Preston's not your normal number 2 hitter. Let him swing away. He's an RBI guy.
And these are the types of situations where you'd really like to break open a big one. And that's why Preston's in that number 2 spot. There probably won't be too many situations this year in which Preston will be instructed to hit behind the runner. He does there, however, and it looks like it might be over Guerrero's head. Oh, what a catch. What a grab by Vladimir Guerrero. Preston Wilson slams his helmet. It won't be a sac fly. It will move the runner to third. That is a whale of a catch.
Say, this ball really jumped off his bat, and I think it surprised Guerrero as well. He gets turned around. He has to turn completely around and then speed up a little bit. Snow cones it, but heads up base running by Brad Penny at second base. He was able to alertly go back, tag up, and get himself to third base with 1 down.
We've seen some terrific catches in this series, haven't we? Both sides. So they're at the corners with 1 out for Cliff Floyd. And there's a situation where Preston went with a pitch, went the other way. Perfect situation with runners at first and second and nobody out.
Yeah, he wasn't thinking going the other way, though. He just drove that ball that way because he has that kind of power.
And it's no balls, 2 strikes.
One thing Carl Pavano has utilized along with his fastball and slider, he's also thrown some real good changeups tonight.
Michael Barrett was setting up there on the inside part of the plate. I think they'll go some heat inside here and work him away.
He's going to try to waste something. He's shown that kind of control tonight. He doesn't want to give Cliff, now that he's ahead 0-2, doesn't want to give him too much to hit.
Barrett telling him to keep it down. He pops him up. Now he didn't keep it down at all. But he's not going to get hurt.
He didn't keep it down, but he got it in far enough just to tie Cliff up enough. And when you're up there, your eyes kind of light up with that runner at third, because you know if you hit a ball in the air to the outfield, you can pick up a sacrifice fly. So your eyes kind of light up when the ball is up. That was actually more over the middle of the plate than I thought, but it was up enough that Pavano was able to get the pop fly.
Yeah, that's something Jeff Torborg has talked about with his pitchers. If you're going to pitch up, you got to pitch way up if you're throwing the hard stuff. And not too many guys can handle a pitch like that with 2 strikes. And it's caught by Truby. Kevin Millar hit that one as hard as you can hit
it. Over the years, I've played my fair share of strings. One of my favorites is this Ryobi I got at Tractor Supply. And with a full line of string trimmers, Husky and Cub Cadet riders, leaf blowers, Troy-built tillers, and all the lawn tools you can imagine, it just isn't spring in my yard without a trip to Tractor Supply. You want me to play that one again for you?
Tractor Supply, for 1 acre or 1,000, will help you get the job done.
No brotherly love in this matchup. Lee and the Marlins. Roland and the Phillies. Marlins Phillies. Sunday at 1:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Velocity set. Location direct TV. All systems are go. Affirmative. The rocket is ready. Roger. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have a strikeout. We have a strikeout. 12 minutes past the hour. Outstanding. Hang another K.
Take a trip back to 1981 with the special people who made summer camp unforgettable. Janine Garofalo, David Hyde Pierce, Paul Rudd, Christopher Maloney, and Molly Shannon. Wet, hot American summer.
Now playing on Blockbuster Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Kevin Millar robbed in the top of the fifth. It's 1-0 Marlins over the Expos. Let's send it down to Craig, who's standing by with a very special guest.
Thank you, Len. You know, one thing that I noticed covering Jeff Torborg, getting to meet him really for the first time this spring training, was how many nice references, even in just casual conversation, he made about a lady named Susie, his wife, to my left, of 38 years. Susie, nice to meet you, and how's things going with the Marlins?
So far, so good. It's an exciting game, and if it goes the way the last two games went, it's going to continue to be.
You met Jeff when you were in 7th grade, I understand, and been sweethearts ever since. So what was the initial attraction?
We were friends from 7th grade on and didn't start dating until the end of our junior year of high school. The initial attraction for me to Jeff was just that he was such a nice person.
And he continues to be that way. Now, by the way, Susie was Miss New Jersey in 1960. Did the romance start after that?
No, long before that. Truly.
Really?
Yeah. That was the end of my freshman year of college, that contest. And I had never been in a beauty pageant before. Never had any intention of being in one. I was kind of recruited by the Junior Chamber of Commerce because it was a big fundraiser for them. And I kept saying, no, I'm not interested. And they kept saying, but we need contestants and it's for a good cause. You should help us out. So eventually, I was at college at the time. It was, you know, after my freshman year, and I thought, oh, all right, it'll only take one night. But they don't tell you that if you win, it doesn't just take one night. It's several days of rehearsals, and then you go do that night. And if you win, you go on to the next level. And I wound up going to the national level, so it did take a while, but it was a good experience.
Orlando Cabrera grounding out here. Lee Stevens coming up for the Expos in the bottom of the 5th inning. Let me ask you, because baseball is such a difficult, and can be difficult on the families because of the travel situation and the amount of days you're away. And of course, Jeff's been around baseball his whole life. How has it been for you guys, and how have you made that part work?
It's not easy, and you just have to make adjustments and you have to be flexible. I was talking with Frank Robinson's wife before the game. She gave me a ride over to the stadium tonight with her daughter. Well, we go back to the early 70s because Jeff and Frank played together all those many years ago. And then Jeff was Frank's first coach that he chose when Frank became the first black manager of the Indians. And at that time, we both had young families, and you just do the best you can. We could only be in Cleveland, Barbara and her family, and I with our family when school vacations permitted, or, you know, you just have to make adjustments, and it is not easy.
Real quick, how was Jeff after that loss?
How was he after the loss? Oh, me, oh my. It was disappointing. You always want to win. Jeff, from the time I've known him, hated to lose at anything, including tiddlywinks. So
we would expect. Thank you, Susie. Nice spending time with you. 2 outs here. Let's go back upstairs to Len and Tommy.
Boy, Len, I've known Jeff and Susie Torborg. We used to have a hotel room next to them on our trip to Japan with the Dodgers in 1966. For some reason or another, they put me and Alan Foster, a couple of 20-year-old kids, next to this happily married couple. Maybe they thought they would keep an eye on us in Japan.
Yeah, she's a very sweet lady, and we'll see her a lot on the road this year with the Marlins. There's Truby swinging and missing. Ball and 2 strikes. Brad Penny dealing tonight.
Boy, he is. He's got that fastball moving. You saw that one really run hard and in to Truby. Got to get Truby. He robbed Kevin Millar last inning.
Oh, he caught it.
Payback.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. A real fixer-upper for artistic creative types. Formal dining room with sweeping staircase. Oh, honey, a fireplace. Doesn't that sound fabulous? What do you think?
We'll take it.
The new 6-speed Acura CL Type S.
Take me fishing, because our boat's cooler than any video game.
take me fishing and make me feel 16 again.
Take me fishing because I miss my boy.
The fridge is broken.
Refrigerators, washers, and dryers on sale. Get 0% financing plus free delivery and a price match guarantee on the top 6 brands. Only at Sears. Where else?
Tonight on the Best Damn Sports Show, period, things start heating up when Tom Arnold goes one-on-one with legendary coach Bobby Knight in an exclusive interview that you won't want to miss. It's the Best Damn Sports Show, period, tonight after the game, only on Fox Sports Net. 6th inning here in Montreal. Len and Tommy with you tonight in this early season matchup, Game 3 of the 2002 season. Going back is Peter Bergeron. And he's got his sights on it and squeezes it for the out. Well, let's get a look at our Pennzoil protection play. And we go back to the 4th inning. Derek Lee with his 3rd home run of the season.
Well, the home run has played a huge part in the first 3 games, or 2.5 games, if you will, so far in the season. 9 of the Marlins' 13 runs have come on some home runs. 8, of course, on grand slams. Even more than that, more than 9 with Derek Lee's other home run. So the home run has been a big part of the offense early on.
Well, we know about Derek Lee's offense, or rather his defense, and could be a Gold Glover in waiting. And offensively, he's had a lot of potential, and this might be the year where he really puts it all together. In tight, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Played in 158 games each of the last 2 years. In the hole. Oh, Cabrera bobbled it. And that's a rare misplay by Cabrera at short. And that'll be an error on Cabrera.
Not too many of those last year. Orlando Cabrera made just 11 errors. He was the major league leader in assists. That just tells you he got to a lot of balls, positioned himself correctly. That one had a chance after the first bobble, but once he went and reached down and bobbled again, no chance.
So a runner at first, 1 out for Gonzalez. And he skies 1 foul. Again, Derek in 158 games each of the last 2 years hit .281 in 2000, .282 last year. And his RBI total 70, 75. You see that be up in the mid 80s, maybe up toward 90.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, you look at those numbers, you say, okay, Derek, we know you can do that, but we also know you can do a little bit more.
Into left, a base hit for Gonzalez. Well, there's nothing like an error to start an inning, you know what I mean?
Well, you like to take advantage of them. And this is the key at bat, because Mike Redmond's up there. After Mike, it'll be Brad Penny. Good swing. A pitch got a little bit more of the plate than Pavano wanted, and Alex was able to shoot it into left field. But so far tonight, Pavano has done a real good job pitching out of jams. Gotten himself in a few jams, and when he's needed, he's made some excellent pitches. Mike Redmond up there. The report on CJ. Charles Johnson's going to play in a couple of games in the Florida State League. He's going to play in Port St. Lucie. He'll play in Jupiter, I think, over the weekend. And more than likely be ready for the home opener Monday night.
On the ground, this one could be two. Cabrera, Vidro, Stevens, and he was not on the bag. Stevens came off the bag. And Frank Robinson wants to have a chat down there with Mike DiMuro just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm really curious if Mike DiMuro made the call because Stevens came off the bag or if he just thought Mike Redmond beat the throw. Cabrera really took his time. He knew that he had a little extra time, but he really took his time getting the ball to Vidro, whose throw was high. I think Stevens was on the bag. I think DiMuro just made the call saying that Mike Redmond beat the throw. Frank Robinson may have had a little beef.
In both cases. I think his foot stayed on the bag, and I think it beat him. But the Marlins will take it. And for the Expos, at least for them, the pitcher's up there, but Brad Penny with a base hit his last time up. So a chance now to drive in a run.
Both pitchers have been very efficient in number of pitches. Pavano came into this inning, he'd thrown 66. Brad Penny, through 5 innings, has thrown 63.
Now the Marlins touched Tony Armas for 4 runs on that first inning grand slam in 5 innings last night. But other than that, the starting pitching in this series has been outstanding. Ground ball to short. Cabrera gets one more chance in this inning, and he makes the play for the out. Middle of the 6th, 1-zip, Marlins.
Hey, free long distance? No roaming. Nationwide. Lots of minutes. Yeah. Of course you have to be on our network, not their network. Ours is someplace.
Don't get trapped. Get Singular Nation. Never pay long distance, never pay roaming. It's that simple.
By free, we don't mean without charges. There will be charges when the...
Self-expression is simple with Singular Nation.
The fridge is broken.
Refrigerators, washers, and dryers on sale. Get 0% financing plus free delivery and a price match guarantee on the top 6 brands. Only at Sears. Where else?
At Rent-A-Center, it's easy to get the stuff you want because everybody's pre-approved. TVs, appliances, furniture, computers. You can get it today. Boom! Just like that.
No credit? Boom! No problem. No credit? Boom! You're in. No credit? Boom! You got it.
Hey, you guys can't say boom. Get your own word.
And now everything in the store is free till payday, up to 7 days free. Call 1-800-205-2005 for the nearest Rent-A-Center.
How? Nope, keep thinking.
Every move, every story. Totally NASCAR, weeknights at 6.
Well, the Marlins get a solo home run from Derek Lee, and Brad Penny has just been outstanding through 5.5 tonight.
You know, he has, and when plays have been needed, they have been done by the Marlins. So far, the Expos have not left a man on base. Unfortunately, the Marlins have left 8 men on base, but you have to consider a few of those were when Brad Penny was up. You don't expect him to drive in a lot of runs.
So we'll see how he does against this Expos lineup, see how deep he can go into this ball game. He went a maximum of 5 innings. In each of his last 2 spring starts. 63 at this point is a very good number through 5 innings, 2 hits. And again, he has faced just the minimum in each inning. And it's an old baseball cliche, but it is oh so true. It is a lot easier to pitch with runners not on base. to stay in your rhythm. And he's been very efficient tonight. And he's gotten help from his defense as well, particularly Mike Redmond, who's thrown out 2 runners trying to steal.
Yeah, the difference in the 2 pitchers, Pavano's had to really work, because there have been 2 or 3 situations where he's gotten himself in jams with a couple of men on base. A little different for Brad Penny.
The Expos have not had more than 1 man on base in any of the first 5 innings.
And maybe because of his elbow problems over the years and the way he's worked, that's why Frank Robinson has activity in the bullpen.
To left. Floyd barely moved a step. T.J. Tucker working in the Expos bullpen tonight.
But I think, knowing Carl Pavano, he wants to stay in there. Carl Pavano makes his home in South Florida, lives in Palm Beach Gardens. Loves playing golf at Abacoa Golf Course, right across from the Jupiter Stadium. Warren Botke and Carl Sawyer down there taking care of him.
Foul tipped, and it's 1-1 to Barrett. Well, we've enjoyed our stay here in the lovely city of Montreal. Tommy, you played here, worked here as a broadcaster, but it seems like we've been here for about a week and a half, doesn't it? With all due respect, we've been here a long time. Got in Sunday night, off day Monday. And I would imagine the vet will be rocking tomorrow afternoon.
Well, opening day at Veterans Stadium, I've witnessed a few of those. They can be very exciting. So we look forward to that tomorrow afternoon.
I think he went around. He did.
What is it, 3 o'clock game?
3 o'clock.
We'll also get a chance to see Julian Tavares, who you and I talked to a little bit today about his repertoire and what he plans to do. And Brandon Duckworth, right-hander, be pitching for Larry Boa's Phillies. There's Tavares.
So he gets Michael Barrett there. Only the second strikeout for Brad Penny tonight. Individual tickets for the Marlins 2002 season are on sale now. Prices start at just $4 for adults, $2 for kids. Purchase your tickets at the Pro Player Stadium box office or visit FloridaMarlins.com today. Marlins, it's time to play.
And I've tried to do some figuring, Len, and I have it figured out on the home opener. Looks like that'll be A.J. Burnett's start. So it'd be kind of nice to see an electric crowd out there for the home opener, watching A.J., who had electric stuff here last night.
And if the rotation stays the same for the Expos, he would face Tony Armas Jr. yet again. Mike Lowell will come in and make the play easily. We move to the back third. Marlins lead it 1-0.
Tina?
Hi, you must be Todd.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil High Mileage Vehicle reduces oil consumption and restores the performance of older engines.
The Kart FedEx Championship Series hits Long Beach. 20 cars on a 2-mile course at speeds pushing 185. The Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, qualifying the 12th and 13th on Speed. Race coverage Sunday the 14th on Fox.
It's time to play.
At Rent-A-Center, it's easy to get the stuff you want because everybody's pre-approved. TVs, appliances, furniture, computers. You can get it today. Boom! Just like that.
No credit? Boom! No problem. No credit? Boom! You're in. No credit? Boom! You got it.
Hey, you guys can't say boom. Get your own word.
And now everything in the store's free till payday, up to 7 days free. Call 1-800-205-2005 for the nearest Rent-A-Center.
Pow. Nope, keep thinking.
The Kart FedEx Championship Series hits Long Beach. 20 cars on a 2-mile course at speeds pushing 185. The Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, qualifying the 12th and 13th on speed. Race coverage Sunday the 14th on Fox.
Florida Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Net is being brought to you in part by Acura and the all-new 6-speed 260 horsepower CL Type S. We're in hockey country up here, and the biggest cheer of the night when they showed the Habs score on the scoreboard. And the fans haven't had a whole lot to cheer about as their Expos trail the Marlins 1-0.
I think the second biggest cheer tonight was when they announced one of the 6 bobblehead giveaway nights here at Olympic Stadium this year when they put up Rusty Staub. They're going to have bobblehead night for Rusty, Le Grand Orange, Steve Rogers, Tim Raines, Andre Dawson. They're going to have the one for Hawk when we're in town. Gary Carter, and Vladimir Guerrero.
Top of the order here in the 7th for the Marlins. You were telling me earlier that when you lived here as a player and as a broadcaster, you would occasionally rent out a dwelling that was used by some Canadian hockey players during the winter.
Yeah, that was back when they were pretty good. Canadians. Yeah, Bob Gainey, Mats Naslund, Rick Wamsley. Got to know those guys a little bit. They made sure I paid the rent, though.
In Canadian?
No, I had to give them U.S. Can you believe that?
Man. Well, that's not right. Well, we've got a lot of coinage here, Canadian currency, but we'll be back a couple of times this year, so we'll have to stash it away. Pavano taking his time here. Now he steps off. Six hits for Florida, 2 for Montreal. The pitchers have essentially controlled the action tonight. Base hit. Leadoff single for Castillo. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, Louis gotten himself hits his last 2 times up, but just the way you want to see it. He banged a base hit up the middle. This time the slider, he pulls it and gets it past Lee Stevens.
So Wilson up now, robbed of extra bases by Guerrero in the 5th. That would have driven in a run, at least one. And it's strategy time at the Big O, isn't it? 7th inning, 1-0 ball game.
Well, believe me, Jeff Torborg knows the importance of adding on to a lead and trying to get as many runs as possible. That's Jeff giving the sign out to Ozzie Guillen, who then flashes it over to Luis Castillo and to Preston Wilson.
Rick Rennick, bench coach, on the left. Castillo with a good lead, not going, swing and a miss.
Carl Pavano, one of those pitchers that, regardless of what he does in his career, you're always going to talk about that relief appearance in 1998. The end of the season, he came out of the bullpen. And Carl Pavano is a pitcher that gave up that home run number 70 to Mark McGwire. At the time, a record that people thought would stand for a long time.
TJ Tucker is now joined by Ed Vosberg in the Expos pen. There goes Castillo, and it's fouled away. Got a pretty good jump. Whistling over there to get the attention of Castillo.
A lot of times the third base coach likes it when the runner, if he's gone to second, likes when he looks back when he's over halfway to first before he gets there. Gives him time to give the sign before he actually gets back to the bag. They like hitters to look at him when they're walking up to the plate. Sometimes you can flash that quick sign and then forget about it.
A ball and 2 strikes to Wilson. Nobody out. There goes Castillo. And time was called.
Home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt called time. Preston had asked for time. Unfortunately, it was when Luis Castillo was thinking of stealing. Preston asking, but just in case he doesn't get time called, he got the hand back on the bat.
And Frank Robinson now out to discuss things with Wendelstedt. And that gives Michael Barrett a chance to talk things over with Carl Pavano.
Frank saying possibly that was a little late in acknowledging timeout. My pitcher was ready to work. Should let him just go ahead and throw his pitch.
Louis got a couple of very good jumps on these 2 attempts. And we'll see if the Expos keep a closer watch on him. All right, we'll do it again. And a throw over there.
And again, Louis with that 1 foot on the carpet. He has it out there pretty good distance too.
Not going. And they look down to first, but no indication. Now the safe call, so he did not swing.
But I tell you, that's always a moment of truth as a hitter. Preston did check his swing, but sometimes you get that call and you stand there and you say, "Don't you dare ring me up."
Castillo goes, pitch out, throw down there, safe. Ball hit the dirt before it hit the glove of Vidro, and that gave Luis time to get in there with his first stolen base.
Yeah, good throw I think they would have had, Louis. But sometimes you'll see a catcher, even in a pitch out situation, the Expos guessed right, but look where the throw is. Has to be picked by Vidro, was in the dirt. He picks it, but the time he comes up to put the tag on Louis, foot's on the bag. Good play by Vidro to pick the ball.
Full count now on Wilson after the pitch outside, swung on and missed. He struck him out. So they pitch out to get to 3-2 and then strike out Preston.
Most of Pavano's strikeouts tonight, and he has 6, have been on that good slider.
And they're going to intentionally pass Floyd to face Kevin Millar, who has hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight, but is 0 for 3. And this will be the second intentional walk given up by Pavano.
It's just a situation like this that'll get Kevin Millar going. He lined out to right, got robbed on a line drive to third, and now he sees the man ahead of him being walked on purpose to get to him. Of course, this is the right play because you set up a double play.
And it's also the right play because Cliff is 5 for 9 lifetime against Pavano. Well, Fox Sports Net takes you trackside Friday afternoon for Bud Pole qualifying from Fort Worth, Texas. The infamous Texas Motor Speedway is the venue for drivers vying for the sacred spots in this weekend's Samsung Radio Shack 500. All the speed and adrenaline is coming your way live Friday at 4 on Fox Sports Net. Still looking for that first hit. And this game has slowed down considerably since the Castillo leadoff single here in the 7th.
This is one of those moments that could be, you look back on this situation, a real key moment in the ballgame. Pavano may be tiring a little bit, coming out of a good spring training, but elbow surgery in 2000, hasn't pitched a lot of innings the last couple of years. One of those innings where you'd like to take advantage if he is getting a little tired.
We mentioned earlier the Mets lost at home to Pittsburgh 3-2, so New York is 1-2. Atlanta leads Philadelphia 3-0 in the 4th at Turner. So the winner of this game tonight will sit atop the National League East, at least for a day, and Frank Robinson now will take that slow walk to the mound.
So the Phillies have to fly home tonight from Atlanta.
Yeah, I guess we're technically closer. So it's time for the singular wireless call to the bullpen. Carl Pavano's night is over. We're back in Montreal in a moment.
Relax, we got supplemental insurance.
What are you talking about?
If we get injured and miss work, we're covered for things like lost pay and other expenses with this.
With what?
Plus they pay you cash. Great, huh?
Who does? Aflac.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
At Toyota, not all SUVs are built the same. They each happen to be quite amazing in their own way. There's the adventurous 4Runner, Highlander, the SUV with a car-like ride, the RAV4, stylish and fun, and Sequoia, the V8 that seats 8. You're gonna find the SUV you're looking for, even if you're not sure which one that is. Now choose $1,250 cash back or 1.9% APR financing for 36 months on every new 4Runner. That's right, $1,250 cash back or 1.9% APR on 4Runner.
Monday, April 8th at 7:05 p.m. is Bank of America opening night. The Marlins take the field against the Expos to start their 10th season. Get your tickets at the Pro Player Stadium box office or visit FloridaMarlins.com today. Marlins, it's time to play. So TJ Tucker comes in with a 2-ball, no strike count on Kevin Millar here in the 7th.
Pitched on opening night, had a nice 1-2-3 inning, coming in to pitch the 8th inning. Kind of interesting coming here with a 2-0 count.
There go the runners. Crow goes to second, and they get Floyd on the backside. So Castillo moves to third, but there are 2 outs.
Well, a very heads-up play by Michael Barrett. When you have a double steal like that, a lot of times the catcher realizes he's not going to get the runner going from second to third, and the guy on the back end doesn't get as good a jump. Not only did Cliff not get a good jump, he made a poor effort and a slide trying to get into second base.
3-1 now to Millar.
So a big play for the Expos.
So Millar walks. First and third now, 2 outs.
I think another thing that happens, Len, is sometimes, and I'm not saying Cliff did this because I'm not in his head right now. I don't know. But sometimes the player on the back end of that double steal will take it for granted that the catcher's just going to zero in on the guy going from second to third. And if that were the case, obviously that wasn't the case for Michael Barrett. He saw that Cliff did not get a good jump. He went ahead and made the play at second.
Foul tip, strike one. Mike Lowell tied Mark Kotze for 5th in the National League in average with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Hit .356 last year. So this is the situation that he thrived in last year.
Mike has that ability to really go up and use his head during an at-bat, try to get in that good count. Usually keeps the strikeouts to a minimum.
1-2 now to Lowell. Here's the pitch. Got him on strikes. For a sports update, let's go to our Fox Sportsnet studio.
This sports break is brought to you by K-Swiss. I'm Michelle Bonner at the Fox Network Center. Shaquille O'Neal missed Lakers practice today so he could see a doctor about his injured right wrist. And it's the left hand of Oscar De La Hoya that's hurting, and that's postponed his May 4th fight with Fernando Vargas. And the surprising Devil Rays moved to 3-0 after beating the Tigers today. They're in first place after opening day for the first time ever. For all the latest news and scores, stay with Fox Sports Net.
Hi.
Where?
My K-Swiss. With my khakis.
With my shorts. On my left and my right.
I keep them clean and white. On a date with my girl.
On a date with my guy.
No need to ask why. At the beach with my friends.
To the movies on weekends. Wear them with my white.
I wear them with my blues.
When I dress. To impress.
I like them when they're new. K-Swiss. The shoe with the shield. I wear my K-Swiss.
Velocity set. Location direct TV. All systems are go. Affirmative. The rocket is ready. Roger. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have a strikeout. We have a strikeout. 12 minutes past the hour. Outstanding. Hang another K.
Buckle up. The Fast and the Furious is on pay-per-view. With a music video of Hooverstein's hot single. From the film's newest CD. Featuring tracks from today's most cutting-edge artists.
This is yours.
Yours free when you order the movie. The year's hottest flick with the latest CD, free, is playing Fast and Furious on pay-per-view.
Peter Bergeron skies one to right. Back goes Millar, and he's got it just in front of the track. Brad Penny has faced 19 batters here in 6 1/3. That's as good as it gets.
And he'll love, and any pitching coach, any manager, a pitcher loves those first pitch outs. Just make one pitch, boom, and out. That was something interesting that Josh Beckett learned when he was pitching in the minor leagues last year. He was on a pitch count, and all of a sudden it clicked in his head. If I strike out a lot of guys, I got to come out of the game in the 4th or 5th inning. If I can get one pitch outs, get a ground ball here, ground ball there, I can go a little bit longer.
That's rare for a 21-year-old to figure out. And 20 last year.
And he's figured it out.
Yeah. 2 pitches to get Vidro out. And he hasn't even thrown 70 yet.
By the way, Josh Beckett will be pitching the middle game of that series in Philadelphia. It's going to be cold. Temperatures might touch 50 in the daytime. Of course, the first two games are 3 o'clock games. The Sunday game, I think 1 or 1:30, 1:35.
Well, the thing about a game like this, Brad Penny's given up just 2 hits. The Expos haven't scored a run, but they're just 1 swing away from tying it. And the Marlins have left 10 men on base.
That's one of the things you try to tell yourself if you're on that Expos bench. Hey, look at, they only have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, the Marlins really have dominated this game in every facet, except on the big board. He might go to Hacken here on 3-0. Nope, he's taking. And it's 3-1. That guy won the game Tuesday night with a 9th inning 2-out single. So Guerrero walks with 2 outs. Second time he's been walked. 4th base runner for Montreal.
Yeah, and those are the only 2 walks for Brad Penny. Guerrero. Now remember, Guerrero tried to steal in the 4th inning. Twice Frank Robinson has had runners take off and try to steal. Truby was nailed in the 2nd inning. Guerrero in the 4th by excellent throws from Mike Redmond.
So I guess the question here is, do you take another shot at getting in scoring position, considering the lack of opportunities? Well, it won't matter. And Wilson will take it from Millar. Through 7, it's still 1-0.
Hey, it's me, Peter, but you knew that. Look, I don't know how to say this, but, you know, I need to move on. I mean, you probably noticed that I'm not the same person I was a few months ago. I mean, you have been great, really. I just need to be on my own for a while. Well, thanks for everything, and guess this is goodbye, huh?
The extremely therapeutic Acura TL Type S.
Dehydration. It can't be predicted. It can be prevented. Nothing has been tested and proven to hydrate athletes better or faster. Gatorade. Is it in you?
If your lawn tractor's seen better days, you need to see the new ones at Tractor Supply. From the all-steel construction of Cub Cadet to the proven value of Husky, no one gives you more horsepower and cut for your dollar. And with riders from 14.5 to 24 horsepower, starting at just $8.99, Tractor Supply has my yard looking better than ever. You didn't think I just cut records, did you?
Tractor Supply, for 1 acre or 1,000, will help you get the job done. In 1998, Marlboro Cigarettes voluntarily took down all of their advertising in Senegal, Africa, and kept it down. Until the President of the United States left. What the tobacco industry says they don't do, they just don't do in the U.S.
Tonight on the Best Damn Sports Show period, things start heating up when Tom Arnold goes one-on-one with the legend Bobby Knight in an exclusive interview that you won't want to miss. It's the Best Damn Sports Show period tonight after the game, only on Fox Sports Net.
Geez, I thought Tom Arnold was going to go one-on-one with Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, what does that mean, one-on-one? Is that an interview or what? Matt Herges is the new hurler for the Expos.
Well, a good job by T.J. Tucker. Got a little help from his catcher. So the hard-throwing former Dodger, Matt Hergis.
I guess it'll be interesting to hear what Bobby Knight has to say about Mike Davis getting his former team to the final game.
Hey, Derek Lee, by the way, Len, becomes the first Marlin player to hit home runs in the first 3 games of the season.
A couple of solo shots and a grand slam in this series. Shattered his bat. Cabrera will make the throw for the out. Well, Derek spent a lot of time taping the knob of that bat before the game. I mean, he spent 25 minutes working on it, and he'll have to do the same thing tomorrow in Philadelphia.
It's a tough play if you're the shortstop because you don't know how hard that piece is flying out toward you. So I'm sure somehow Orlando Cabrera saw that piece of bat coming toward him, but he had to concentrate on the ball. Gets the ball, checks the bat, and then fires over to first.
Gonzalez 1 for 3 tonight. Dunks it into left. Boy, he's gotten off to a good start, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. A 2 for 4 night last night. That base hit right there makes him 2 for 4. It's amazing, though, when Alex stays in the strike zone, he's a much better hitter. We saw back in the first at bat in the second inning when Pavano got ahead. He was able to go out of the strike zone 4 to 6 inches, and that's what pitchers do. But if he keeps himself swinging at strikes, he's a much better player. And you know what? Most players are.
Gonzalez looked like he might have been itching to run, so Hergis throws over there.
Well, Jeff Torborg will hit and run with these guys. So now it becomes a guessing game for Frank Robinson.
There goes Alex. And Redmond just behind that one. Red's thrown out a couple of runners trying to steal. And while the Marlins will love having Charles Johnson back and healthy, when you can get good defense like they've gotten from Redmond and Ramon Castro last night, picks up the ball club. You need to have depth to win. And here in the 8th inning, one thing we haven't seen tonight is action in the Marlins bullpen. And it's been a hot topic, I know, throughout South Florida over the last 2 days with what the bullpen has done or failed to do.
Well, in the 2 2/3 innings that the Marlin bullpen has pitched, they've given up 9 hits and 8 runs.
A ball and 2 strikes to Mike Redmond as the fans start banging on those chairs in front of him. 4,551 here at Olympic Stadium. Perry Hill nearly was decapitated down there at first base.
See, Perry checks on those signs just in case the runner at first might not get them. Then he becomes a relay guy.
Struck him out. Hergis gets Redmond.
Well, I've talked about Hergis. He has a terrific fastball. You have to guard from that. But he gets Mike to chase a slider that bounces into the mid of Barrett.
So Penny will hit for himself. And why not? right now working on a 2-hit shutout. Stevens will play behind Gonzalez at first.
Well, Brad Penny's one shutout last year, and also his one complete game against the Montreal Expos, like on April 21st.
And the way the rotation sets up in the early season schedule, Brad will face this same team in start number 2 next week in South Florida. Alex Gonzalez nearly had a running start over there at first base, but again, time was called.
There's an old saying in baseball, if you're the pitcher out there, make the runner stop. You don't want him to get that little walking lead.
And Burgess now steps off the back of the rubber just to keep an eye on Alex. Again, they're not holding him on over there at first. Not moving. Grounded to short. Cabrera will throw to first, and we are through 7.5, and it's still 1-0.
If your driveway looks worn, don't replace it. Resurface it. Quikrete Concrete Resurfacer. The easy way to make old concrete look like new.
Hey! This is human nature at its best.
For the gang from American Pie, it's all about sticking together.
Yeah, I kind of super glued myself to myself.
Order American Pie.
Velocity set. Location direct TV. All systems are go. Affirmative. The rocket is ready. Roger. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have a strikeout. We have a strikeout. 12 minutes past the hour. Outstanding. Hang another K.
Florida Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Net is being brought to you in part by GMC. From professional grade people come professional grade trucks. 2 hits for the Expos, no runs, and the Marlins clinging to a 1-0 lead. What a line for Brad Penny.
Yeah, just the 2 walks. Each of those walks issued to Vladimir Guerrero. 2 strikeouts. In Brad's shutout last year against Montreal, it was a 4-hitter. And to this point in his young career, which should be a long, successful career, Brad just 23 years of age now. To this point, that 4 hitters is best.
So a 7-6 Montreal win Tuesday. A 6-5 Marlins victory last night, and here we are again in a 1-run game.
Another 1-run game. Mike Redmond being assisted to there. There's Mike Kozak, assistant trainer. Sean Cunningham, the head trainer with the Marlins now. John Silverman now the equipment man.
So we are ready to go here in the 8th. Every American League team at this very early stage of 2002 has played in a 1-run game. There have been 5 such games in the National League, and the Marlins and Expos have played already in 2 of them, the other one being that Pittsburgh 3-2 win at Shea. Right side for Castillo. Sunday hop, and he makes a play quite easily. Now, he got the save last night through one pitch, Michael Tejera, just in case.
You know, that's one thing you have to do as a manager, and this is the thing that happens so quickly in the dugout. Strickland getting loose for Montreal. You have to look ahead and plan ahead. And when the inning begins, you're saying, well, what do you need a left-hander for? Well, if it gets down to the 9th spot, you've got Henry Rodriguez who could pinch hit. I'll never forget talking to Larry Durker a few years ago when he came out of the booth and started to manage. He said the thing that was the biggest transition was how quickly everything happened in the dugout. He said you have a lot more time to think about it up in the booth.
Yeah, you have to think well ahead when you're sitting in that chair.
And Jeff Torborg has dealt with both of those things, having been a manager, the White Sox, the Indians, the Mets, and also having been a broadcaster.
The base hit for Chris Truby. First hit for the Expos since the 2nd inning, and Chris Truby has 2 of their 3 tonight.
Well, it's only fitting that Truby has 2 out of the 3 hits. We've talked about Brad Penny's dominance of the Expos over the last couple of years. 4-0 last year. Well, Truby has been with the Houston Astros. So he doesn't know that. So he's picked up 2 of the 3 hits.
You're talking about broadcasting versus managing. I was talking to Gary Matthews, who spent a couple of years as the Toronto Blue Jays radio analyst, now the hitting coach in Milwaukee, and I asked him what the big difference was being upstairs. He said the game looks a whole lot easier upstairs. There is a base hit, so the Expos have strung 2 together, and they have them at first and second with 1 out. And this constitutes a rally. First time they've had 2 runners on all night.
And the guy that Brad Penny will face has been tough in this series. Michael Barrett, a couple of home runs, a double. Came into this game 4 for 8. However, against Brad Penny, he's 0 for 11. So right now, Brad had taken 0 for 12 with a double play ball from Michael Barrett.
Yeah, hopefully that latter trend will stay true. Inside a ball on Barrett. Again, 2 walks given up by Penny. He's worked ahead in the count pretty much all night. One and 1. Vladimir Nunez is the right-hander, and again Tejera the lefty. Braden Looper worked Tuesday. He also worked last night. So Nunez will be the closer du jour, unless the situation dictates that you need that lefty in there in the 9th. Backhanded by Gonzalez to Castillo. Scooped by Lee. Oh, pitcher's best friend.
Take me fishing and show me how to drive the boat.
Take me fishing, so we'll always have something in common.
Take me fishing, because my wedding will be sooner than you think.
It's time to play.
Tina?
Hi, you must be Todd.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle reduces oil consumption and restores the performance of older engines.
It happens in the blink of an eye. That defining moment in every game. When that moment comes, will you have ice in your veins?
It's here. It's clear. New Gatorade Ice.
I'm going to call this a wow-wow play. First wow, Alex Gonzalez to the hole, then to his knees, the feed. Now the second wow, how about this pick by Derek Lee to hang on a 6-4-3. That wasn't your routine 6-4-3 double play.
Yeah, that one got up on him, but he was able to grab it for the big out. So it's 1-0 here in the ninth. Castillo into left with a base hit. 3 straight hits now for Castillo. He led off the 7th with a hit and now the 9th. And let's go downstairs to Craig.
Guys, the bench erupted after that great defensive play here. I'm right next to the Marlins dugout. Then right after that, amidst the jubilation, Brad Arnsberg came over to Julian Taveras, who was charting Brad Penny. He said, how many pitches has he got? He said, 85. He patted on the back. He said, way to go. With the low amount of pitches, certainly Penny can pitch into the 9th inning. No problem there, even in his first start of the year. Back to you.
85, we have 91, so somewhere in that upper 80s range, the pitch count. I'm not sure our man Jerry's correct, and I'm not going to hold Julian Taveras with all that either. So,
well, the Marlins have left 11 on base. The only run has come via the solo blast by Lee in the 4th. And insurance is the key word here with a 1-run lead in the 9th. They have had their chances. Kind of an oddity tonight. Luis Castillo has led off an inning 4 times, and Peter Bergeron, the leadoff hitter for the Expos, has led off 3 times for his team. So both teams have started innings in the way they would like, and still only a 1-0 game because the pitching has been dominant.
Yeah, it has, and insurance would look really nice in this inning. Marlins got it last night from Cliff Floyd in a 2-run homer.
Castillo with a decent lead and a throw over there. Again, Matt Herges acquired from the Dodgers during spring training. Castillo thought about moving, but then he stopped, and it was fouled away anyway. Tight, so it's now full at 3-2, and you'd have to think Luis will be moving.
Good bet on that. Even with nobody out, full count, Luis is on the move with Cliff on deck.
While the first 2 games were 1-run games, the Expos were so far behind they didn't really have their closing team in there. There goes the runner, and it's fouled, and we'll do it again. Scott Strickland and Matt Herges at this point make up the closer by committee. But again, the Marlins have been in front just about this entire series, except for the end of Monday night's game.
Wasn't it the pitcher that was traded in that deal with Hergis going to the Dodgers? That was the pitcher that Piazza had that little confrontation with in spring training, Guillermo Mota. Saw where Piazza got fined.
Castillo moving up the middle, still could be two. Vidro and Lee Stevens had plenty of time to corral that one at first.
Sometimes you get penalized with that runner taking off in a stolen base situation. Because Louis was on the move, Vidro was going over to cover the bag. Because he was going over to cover the bag, he ended up going right where the ball was hit by Preston Wilson. If not for that, the ball might be into center field. That's just the luck of the draw. A nice pick by Lee Stevens, who's able to hang on. That ball cupped up in the back of his glove.
Been a bunch of nail biters for Jeff Torborg. He is chomping on that gum. And Dick Pohl with a quick chat on the mound with Matt Hergis. And he and Michael Barrett now will set up the situation against Cliff Floyd. Nobody on with 2 outs. In other National League games today, Colorado beat St. Louis 6-1. Houston won their series with Milwaukee with a 6-3 win. And San Francisco and Los Angeles later tonight. Barry Bonds with 4 home runs in the first 2 games.
Barry Bonds now has 571 career home runs. He's 2 behind Harmon Killebrew for 6th all time.
Wow. Atlanta leads Philly 3-2 in the 6th, and Cincinnati over the Cubs 3-1 in the 5th. There's a strike to Floyd. In the American League, Tampa Bay swept Detroit, so Hal McRae's crew is 3-0, 9-2 the final. Yankees are shutting out Baltimore 4-0 in the 8th. Toronto beat Minnesota at Skydome 7-2, and Texas over Oakland 7-5.
Mike Messina for the Yankees tonight. They got a heck of a game from David Wells last night.
Foul tip.
Cliff was able to add that assurance last night in the 9th inning off the big left-hander Graham Lloyd. You can see how Lloyd, after he threw the pitch and saw Cliff hit it, kind of dropped his head because he knew Cliff dropped the head of the bat on the ball.
So the 0-2, fastball high and tight. Looks pretty calm, doesn't he? With a 1-0 lead here in the 9th.
They got that 9th inning. I'm all right. I got a lot left.
And the Expos have that shift working, and Cabrera not quite behind second base.
That kind of messes up a hitter because he's actually right in the line of the hitter. Cliff Floyd trying to concentrate on Hergis, the pitcher, but you can see that infielder out there.
And he's now run it full at 3-2.
Well, if these first 3 games are any indication of the way things are going to go this year, you might want to come out and see the Marlins play.
Three exciting games here in Montreal. And now we have a ball in the outfield, and they'll have to take care of that business before we resume.
One of the things that's always been a kind of a pain here at Olympic Stadium, the bullpens have always been where they are, and if a ball gets by the catcher, the way it caroms around the corner of right field and left field, it kind of takes a little time to track that ball down.
Good battle here between Hergis and Floyd. Matt Hergis knows how to throw pitches. He led all major league relievers last year with 1,605 pitches.
So he's what you could call a workhorse out of that bullpen.
And he was a rookie back in 2000 as a 30-year-old, so he had certainly paid his dues. And a good battle here with Cliff Floyd. 3-2 again. Well, they say that as it goes longer and longer, it starts to benefit the hitter. You get more looks.
Well, the reason that usually is the case, not always, but as a hitter, timing is so important. And when you see a lot of pitches, foul off a lot of pitches, you start to zero in, and the timing gets there.
If the roof were open, he probably would have hit it out of the stadium.
We talk about Hergis, 30 years of age. Cliff Floyd hasn't reached 30 yet. Cliff is 29, now in his 9th year as a major leaguer.
And the pitch outside. Cliff Floyd draws a nice walk, and Kevin Millar gives him some encouragement. Good at bat. Sometimes it's tough to throw that many strikes in a row.
Michael Barrett probably just reviewing over the situation and making Hergis realize that Cliff Floyd, just because he's a big guy over there, still might be thinking about a stolen base. Cliff was thrown out on that back end of a double steal in the 7th inning, but did not get a very good jump. If he's running here, he's going to have to get a lot better jump.
Kevin 0 for 3 with a walk. That one over his head. Starting to look mean with that mustache going there, isn't he? Getting that angry look. Again, this game had a good pace to it early on. But in a 1-0 game, the situation getting pretty important for both teams, so it slowed down considerably. And I'd imagine Jeff Torborg is enjoying the strategic battle with Frank Robinson, one of his good friends.
Yeah, he followed Frank Robinson as the manager of the Cleveland Indians when Frank was let go.
So you wonder on both sides. Jeff, the new manager here in Florida, and Frank Robinson, the new manager in Montreal, if they thought there would be this much strategy in each of the first 3 games. They have earned their pay. 2-0 to Kevin Millar. Grounded foul, 2-1.
Well, I think if you were with us during our pregame show, Craig Minervini had a terrific interview with Frank Robinson. And that was kind of what he was talking about, having been out of uniform for a while. The fact that now that he's the manager and in uniform, you just get those little extra juices going for a win and a loss. And that part of it in the first couple of games he's really enjoyed.
Three balls and a strike. And Herge is starting to labor a bit now. Mike Lowell would bat next. Scott Strickland is warming in the Expos pen. Frank Robinson would love not to have to go to him here with 2 outs. Fair ball. Truby with the long throw. And we will move to the bottom of the ninth in a 1-0 Marlins lead.
Shelly, listen, it's Greg. I'm at the dentist. Yeah, okay. Shelly, I want to come into work. They don't know what I've got. I have a tooth. Scratching, rashing, 24-hour, like, mumps. What else can I have? I am really sick. Both ears gone. Really bad haircut. I'm in traction.
The Acura MDX with torque managing 4-wheel drive.
I was eating wax fruit this week. No.
Taking the SUV to a place it's never been before.
Announcing free long distance and free roaming.
A couple of steps forward.
All you have to do is be on our network, or it becomes somewhat less than free.
Little to the right.
How big is our network?
Not that far.
It's nationwide.
One step back, please.
How wide is nationwide? Well, it depends on where you are in the nation. Some nations are smaller than others.
A little to the left.
And that's true anywhere in America.
Perfect.
Heard enough? Get Singular Nation. Never pay long distance, never pay roaming. It's that simple.
Where's anywhere?
Self-expression is simple with Singular Nation.
The fridge is broken.
Refrigerators, washers, and dryers on sale. Get 0% financing plus free delivery and a price match guarantee on the top 6 brands. Only at Sears. Where else?
Marlins 2002 season tickets are on sale now with a new 41 game plan in the Founders Club, infield box, and club level A sections. Season tickets are the best way to see the Marlins. For information, call 930-HITS. Marlins, it's time to play. And it's time to get out of here with a win. Eric Owens, a defensive replacement in right for the 3rd straight night. And Andres Galarraga, pinch hitter, takes a strike from Brad Penny.
Well, the popular former Expo got a pinch hit single in the game last night.
The Marlins have played 21 games in their history that have resulted in a 1-0 finish. They've won 11 of them and lost 10. Backhanded by Mike Lowell. Good play. Looks it in. Throws across for the out.
Boy, the steady hands of Mike Lowell. We've talked about his defense so much. Kind of made that look easy. And it wasn't, believe me. Yeah, the last 1-0 complete game win by a Marlin pitcher was back in April of '97. I think a lot of you might have been with us on that cold afternoon in Wrigley Field when Alex Fernandez pitched a one-hitter against the Chicago Cubs.
I believe the Marlins swept them that series. Back to the top of the order. And it goes without saying, you know who the number 3 hitter is in the Expos lineup. It's Vladimir Guerrero. If Brad Penny can retire Bergeron and Vidro, he will not have to face him. That's the ideal here in the ninth.
Why do you get the feeling, though, the way things have gone,
I know
that it'll come down to Brad Penny facing Guerrero?
With a runner on, yeah. In a 1-0 game. Oh, and you throw strikes, life's a lot easier, isn't it? And here he comes. Called strike 3.
Well, haven't been too many. Just the 3rd strikeout for Brad Penny, but I think he really caught Bergeron by surprise. I think Bergeron was thinking fastball, and he dropped a breaking ball on the outer part of the plate. There's the curveball. Perfect location, and he knew it. Look at the reaction of Brad Penny. Ring him up.
Ball 1 to Vidro. Vidro tied it Tuesday. Driving in a couple.
Hey, sometimes lost in a great game like this, a well-pitched game, is a job that the catcher's doing. Mike Redmond has done a terrific job, not only with a couple of tremendous throws, but just calling the game and setting the thing up for Brad Penny to get it to this point.
So it's 3-0 with Guerrero on deck. Well, here we go.
We weren't going to let you out of Montreal without this, were we?
They're standing in the bullpen just watching this one. This is Brad Penny's game one way or the other. 2 outs in the 9th, 1-0, and the tying runs at first, and the potential winning run is at home plate.
And our unofficial pitch count just a little over 100, 102. I think the other night Ryan Dempster threw about 115 in his game.
Big swing and a foul. Boy scares you when he rears back. How careful are you here with Guerrero? Penny's walked him twice. Got a double play ball off the bat of Guerrero in the first.
Can't walk him because then you get the tying run at second base, and Cabrera has been a clutch hitter for him. Had 96 RBIs last year. You got to go after Guerrero.
Just off the corner, 1-1. Redmond now trying to calm him down. Brad maybe overthrew a bit on that pitch.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's why Red took a couple of steps in front of the plate.
Not the loudest this crowd has been. 2-1. All right, now it's 2-2. Any semblance of the start of a swing, and Jose Vidro is going to be moving. So anything in the gap probably will tie this game. Just got a piece of it. And for that reason, the Marlins outfielders playing particularly deep. They don't want to let anything get past them. Get that runner in.
I want you to realize, Len, that I really was just kidding back in the 4th inning when Derek Lee hit the home run, and I said that the guys on the bench were probably saying, "There you go, Brad. There's your 1 run for tonight."
Prophetic, Mr. Hutton. 3-2.
Now it gets a little tougher because with the count 3-2 with 2 out, yes, Cabrera's on deck, but Vidro will be running. The outfielders will play very deep. They want to try to cut something off, anything into the gap, so they can keep Vidro from scoring.
3-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, the pitch. High fly ball center. Back is Wilson now coming in. He's got lots of room. He makes the catch, and the Marlins have won the series. Big hug there between Redmond and Penny. Final 1-0. Stay with us. More to come in a moment.